you've said that if you want to 10x your money, buy Bitcoin. If you want to 100x your money, buy Bitcoin with someone else's money. And if you want to 1000x your money, then buy Bitcoin with someone else's money and lever it.
The next 24 hours are going to be very exciting for crypto. 5 very important events are about to take place, and one of them is big news for XRP. Plus, Ondo launches a 24/7 product that could be huge for RWA. This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when we drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, Altcoin Buzz IO, and as always, not financial advice, and wish you the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Alright guys, happy Monday. We have had a very eventful last day in the markets. Now, it doesn't look as bad on the daily chart here. We had a pump and then we dumped. But if we go down to the lower time frames, yesterday was crazy in the market. We had this breakout here. So if we look at this level here, this is kind of like a range. If you look at this, we can kind of establish a range right here. We were in between this range of about 101.5 to around 104.8. Now, this range, a lot of people trade as a range breakout, so that's why it's so important. So yesterday on a Sunday, we had a Sunday scam pump where we broke out of this range where people started to long because they think we're about to break out, maybe go to new all-time highs. What this did was trapped a lot of longs as it then dumped and took out a lot of their stops, which were placed below this expansion candle here. So we took out the longs, we took out the shorts, and then we pumped again, only to then dump again afterwards. So yesterday was a lot of choppy price action, a lot of predatory price action, and Bitcoin doesn't look the best today. It looks like it wants to continue down lower if we look at the 4-hour chart. I do expect, because we have a range here, a lot of times what happens with ranges is at the end of a range, the moves get a lot more violent in both directions, and usually it takes out the top, it takes out the bottom, and then it continues higher. So I would not be surprised today if we took out this top yesterday, and then probably today or the next day, we take out the stops here below 101. So anything below here, I wouldn't be surprised if we then took out these stops and then continued ultimately to our intended direction, which is new all-time highs later this week, possibly. So that's just kind of what's happening on the low time frames with Bitcoin and kind of what happened over the past weekend. So while things aren't, still, we're still holding well above $98,000. It was a lot of choppiness yesterday that took a lot of traders out, and it's been frustrating a lot of people. So that is what happened over the weekend, and I wouldn't be surprised today if we head down below 101, take out all these wicks, especially down below here. So anything still, like I said last week, anything above $98,000 is still totally fine. Even if we came down here, it's still completely fine, and we could still be going up towards new all-time highs later in this week or maybe even next week. But yeah, that's Bitcoin today. Then moving on, we have Watcher Guru saying, Justin, Metaplanet buys another 1,004 Bitcoin worth $104 million. They now hold 7,800 Bitcoin worth $812 million. We also have Kathy Wood expects Bitcoin to hit 1.5 million by 2030, which is just 5 years away. So she said this.
Yes, so we have always had a 2030 target, the base case in the 700 to 750,000 range, the bull case in the $1.5 million range. David Puel, our analyst and our on-chain analyst, put that piece out recently, and you can see the building blocks, how much share we expect Bitcoin to either take from gold or grow that store of value market. Institutions moving in, and they've barely moved in. We have 1 million more coins, roughly, to be minted ever, and institutions are just testing the waters right now. And then there's the emerging market use case as well. So we think we have miles to go. Yes.
And we have Crypto Rover saying a big Monday coming up. Trump is to speak to Putin supposedly today. We have Coinbase to join the S&P 500. Saylor is expected to announce another Bitcoin purchase. U.S. Senator to vote on stablecoin bill or the Genius Act, and the CME to launch XRP Futures. Now, a couple of these I will say actually aren't very bullish. Saylor expected to announce on their Bitcoin purchase is actually marking a top usually because his bid makes price go up, and then as soon as he stops buying and announces it, the price goes back down. So this one's actually not bullish. CME to launch XRP Futures, while that is cool and it's nice for the future, it's actually not bullish in the short term. Usually there's a sell-off because now people can short XRP. It's just like when futures gets added to an exchange like Binance. Usually the price goes down because then people can start shorting a lot more. But what this does lead to in the future is XRP spot ETF, which is a lot more bullish. It's like when spot gets listed on an exchange. So this one's not very bullish in the short term right now, but overall it'll be bullish. And moving on to XRP, we have Dave Portnoy on XRP. He says, what if it's the next Bitcoin? So he says this.
I remember I was trying to buy an apartment in Miami and I got outbid by a crypto bro. And I'm just like, that bastard. Yeah, he just bought, he heard about Bitcoin when it was, I don't know, $8, $7. It's up on 100. I've slaved for 20 years and he just outbid. So yes, there's 100% of FOMO on everything. I think that's the meme coin. That's general. I mean, I don't know, Bitcoin. I don't know if there's as much FOMO now. It's so established, but like that's why I'm in XRP. Like that it's FOMO. It's not like I have some grand belief in it, but it's what, $2.40 or something like that. It's like, what if that's the next Bitcoin? So FOMO, I think, plays a huge part.
Then we have Bale saying a historic moment is coming for XRP. This Monday, May 19th, XRP futures are officially launching on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, or CME, one of the largest derivatives markets in the world. Institutional money is stepping up. Are you ready? So like I said, XRP ETF going live today. It's not super bullish in the short term, but in the long term, it's pretty bullish. We also have Ripple partners with Weya and Mercy Corps to launch XRP Ledger Pilot in Colombia, blockchain traceability to help farmers access credit. Now, this is the kind of stuff I'm actually excited for blockchain and crypto. This is like real utility happening around the world. In Colombia, farmers can now access credit with the blockchain. That is really cool, and that's the kind of stuff I like to see happening. Unfortunately, we don't see enough of that. Now, overall, XRP pretty much back to the middle of this range. I wouldn't be surprised today if we retest at the bottom of this range, coinciding with Bitcoin also retesting the bottom of its range. Maybe we take out some of the stops here, come back down below $2 and then reclaim this level and then take back off again. This also coincides with XRP futures being launched on the CME today. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we take out the bottom of this range again, back down towards $2 and then continue higher with Bitcoin as it reaches new all-time highs. So I think XRP will probably follow Bitcoin pretty closely. So it'll do something like this. We'll maybe take out these stops down here, come back up, reclaim this level. And then once we go to new all-time highs, XRP will follow suit and maybe even go a little bit faster because, it is a lower market cap coin. So overall, XRP, not bearish long-term, but in the short term, I think, we're probably going to see lower prices along with Bitcoin. CoinEx is one of the best exchanges you haven't heard of. Like Gate.io or Mexi, they offer a lot of coins, but more importantly, they offer the high-quality coins you want. In fact, over 1,020 coins in over 1,500 different markets are available, so it's a lot of access. CoinEx has active spot and futures markets, and this month there are 2 different events if you trade in CoinEx Futures. First, from May 16th to May 19th, you can get a piece of a $10,000 random airdrop. All you have to do is trade at least $100 worth on CoinEx, and you can get a little extra USDT added to your account, and just for trading, which you're already doing anyway. And then from May 19th to May 29th, we have a much bigger prize pool of 100,000 set tokens, which is CoinEx's native token. Here you get to apply what you've learned, and if you trade at least $1,000 in CoinEx Futures, then you qualify. Everyone who qualifies earns something, while the winner gets 7,000 set tokens. And if you haven't noticed, SET has had a great last 12 months, up 68%. And that's about the same return as Bitcoin in the same period, so it's a nice coin to earn as a reward. So take advantage of CoinEx Futures offers to learn and earn more rewards. Start today by setting up your account on CoinEx and earn your part of these 2 different prize pools. Click the link down below for more information. And then moving on, we have Ondo Finance saying this is the first time ever that you can go 24/7 at 365 from a tokenized bank deposit to a tokenized treasury.
Yeah, we're very excited to announce that we completed a transaction where an investor using a tokenized deposit on JP Morgan's permissioned blockchain ledger was able to subscribe atomically to a tokenized treasuries product, OUSG, on Ondo chain, on the first real testnet transaction for Ondo chain. And so this is the first time ever that you can go 24/7, 365 from a tokenized bank deposit to a tokenized treasury. And it really starts to break down the barriers between the innovation that's been happening in the public blockchain ecosystem with what the banks like JP Morgan have been doing for a long time in the space.
And then Arkham says the largest holder of regular BULLISH tokens is Ondo Finance, which holds $110 million in BULLISH, and BlackRock's BULLISH fund powers Ondo Finance's OUSG product, the primary holding of OUSG being BULLISH. When OUSG is redeemed, BULLISH is sent to securitized link addresses to be burned. So Ondo, BlackRock, very closely tied. We have also Arkham saying Arkham AI identifies $300 million in Pantera Capital holdings. Arkham's AI model Ultra has predicted wallets holding over 300 million worth of Ondo as belonging to Pantera Capital. Pantera Capital being one of the largest VCs in the world and one of the better ones, and very, very successful. So, and as for Ondo and kind of like the rest of the market, we didn't reclaim this level which we wanted. We wanted to see it really hold above this $1 level, so we wanted to see something like this, but it wasn't able to do that. And so overall, I think Ondo is definitely coming back down here towards this 81-cent level today with Bitcoin. Does it want to stop around here, around 82 cents, and make a higher low on the high time frame, something like that? It's possible. Or does it want to come and take out these stops down below 69 cents? That is another possibility as well. It just really depends on how low Bitcoin goes, but Bitcoin's not looking the best right now, right before New York Open. So I do expect at least 82 cents to be held or to be touched. And I think once we get to this level today, we'll have to really see on the 4-hour chart or the daily chart if it wants to hold this level, or if Bitcoin is also going to take it lower and take out some of these stops here before then going higher, because that's another possibility. We take out these stops here around 69 cents. And then we continue higher to new all-time highs again for Bitcoin and Ondo as well. And then we have Believe's top launches by market cap comparison. If you're not living under a rock, you might have heard about this new platform called Believe app. Here are the top coins launched on Believe by market cap comparison. Launchcoin, Startup, and Dupe are the top 3 launches in market cap comparison. So if you guys remember, we talked about this briefly last week, where Launchcoin on Believe launches this platform on Solana that turns attention into capital. It's kind of like Pump Fund, but you can just launch it straight from Twitter. You can make a coin just by posting on X with Launchcoin, your coin's ticker and name, and Believe does the rest, and it launches your coin. An even easier way to launch a coin. And Nansen says Launchcoin has quietly taken over the trend charts, dominated token popularity week after week, outpaced names like Ethereum, Sol, and even Fartcoin. And Arkham also says Trader Pow turned $365,000 into $4.8 million on Launchcoin. Pow bought $365K when the coin originally launched as Pasternak and then dropped 99%. But the coin relaunched and suddenly unrugged, and Pow's now up $4.5 million. So this is the kind of hopium and meme coin, dream that is being brought and turning, traders back to the Solana trenches. We also have Ted saying big players are accumulating ETH. Most of the people are going to miss the upcoming Ethereum run because they're not aware of all this below. Abraxas Capital bought $650 million in ETH. Coinbase and Kraken are launching Ethereum Layer 2s. BlackRock's stablecoin runs mainly on ETH. Visa is building a tokenized platform on Ethereum. Sony and Samsung are partnering on Ethereum Layer 2. Deutsche Bank is developing an Ethereum Layer 2. Alibaba is building an Ethereum Layer 2 and tokenization platform. Ethereum transactions capacity is scaling rapidly. We also have Crypto Goose saying BlackRock just bought $8.65 million worth of Ethereum on Coinbase. Now, Ethereum actually has been one of the stronger coins over the past week. It's up a crazy amount. I believe it's like 50% over the past month. It's been doing really well. It did almost 100% crazy in 37 days, but right now it's still up about 72%. So we want to see it hold this line. This is the kind of level we plotted out the other day, but I'm not sure if this will hold just yet, if Bitcoin is going to continue down. Ethereum might do something like this, where it comes down to around 21, 22-ish, and then makes a higher low, something like that. And that'll coincide with a level reclaim where we'll come down, we'll reclaim this level, and then continue higher. And that it'll look something like that. So I'm thinking with Bitcoin going lower today, most likely, we'll set the low of the week, but then we'll continue higher for the rest of the week. Usually there's a low set early in the week on Monday or Tuesday. So I think we'll probably set the low early this week on Bitcoin, Ethereum. We'll tag maybe 100,000 on Bitcoin, maybe low 2,000s on Ethereum, but then we'll reclaim and hopefully go towards new all-time highs later this week, or maybe even early next week. So all this does look pretty terrible. I think we do take out these stops here at the bottom of this range towards $100,000, maybe even the high 90s, which is still totally fine. We hit 98,000, and then I think new all-time highs are probably happening later this week. Every time we hit new all-time highs, it gets very choppy, so I think it is going to be a very choppy week. We're going to see a lot more of this price action that we saw yesterday happening, so it's going to be a lot of whipsawing back and forth as we reach new all-time highs, but I think this ultimately does resolve a lot higher in the coming weeks, and new all-time highs above 110,000 are coming soon. So that's the video today, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow.